Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the always informative, always entertaining, the Boxing Authorities. Joining me at the desk, as always, Mr. Luther Dupree Jr., Mr. Smoking Jim Frazier, and my name is Claudio Relsano. Do you think Danielle will like my red, white, and blue for July,
real
Danielle?
patriotic.
All right,
patriotic.
all right.
Hey, Danielle.
July fights. We got a lot of good, interesting fights. Don't get carried away. Me and Luther are going to say what? Interesting. We didn't say it's the greatest of all time. This card became a lot more interesting when I forgot the guy's name, pulled out of the fight. Big Baby Anderson now 14-0 with 14 knockouts. Will be fighting former champ Prince Charles Martin, who's 29-3, 26 knockouts in July in Ohio. Who did Prince fight? He lost Ortiz, but he shook him up, though.
He dropped Ortiz twice. That's where you noticed that the punch resistance for Luis Ortiz wasn't there anymore.
Charles can still hit, though.
He can still punch.
Your thoughts on this fight?
Listen, we're looking at the next great American heavyweight champion after Wilder retires. Big Baby Anderson has everything you need. You know, stamina, charisma, power. I'm loving it. No pacifier. But I think it's a great showcase. He's back home in Ohio. Charles Martin, former champ. It's a cash-out fight for Charles Martin. He's probably going to get KO'd in about 5 rounds. But Big Baby's that real deal. He did make some news. He said he doesn't love boxing in an interview. But he's a great fighter, and he's the next champ. I look for him to style and then come out with a big highlight, brutal KO of Charles Martin. Charles Martin, last time we saw him about over a year ago against Luis Ortiz. He got knocked so hard, didn't know where he was, then got knocked back hard by Luis Ortiz again. But
Ortiz could hit. Is this a dangerous fight?
No,
I like the progression.
It's not a dangerous fight at all. Big Baby's at the top of the line. I'm glad they're finally stepping him up. Former champ. It's time for him to get a heavyweight shot, title shot next year. Or maybe later this year. Probably not this year. Yeah. Early next year, Big Baby needs to make it happen.
I like this fight. I think it's a good progression. Okay, not marinating. I think it's a good progression. He's fighting a former champ who can hit.
More don't hit that.
23 knockouts, or 26 knockouts, and he did shake up Ortiz.
He dropped Ortiz, but Ortiz, the punch resistance is gone. 2 knockouts by Wilder will do that to you.
Yeah. Smoking, your thoughts on the matchup and the fight? Who's going to win?
Well, I know one thing. Richard Torres loves boxing. So we do.
He better.
But, hey, listen, I'm proud of Big Baby for fighting Prince Charles Martin at this time in his hometown. This ain't going to be,
Are you worried?
No, I'm not worried about it.
He wants
Big
Baby to lose.
Prince Charles is 37 years old. He's an old guy now. He had the shortest heavyweight championship reign.
Was that a dive, Jim? Was that a dive against AJ?
Huh?
Was that a dive? That KO looked kind of shady when he lost to Anthony Joshua overseas.
He fights well against Toledo fighters. His last fight that Prince Martin had was against Devin Vargas, and he's from Toledo, Ohio. He knocked him out.
He's not Big Baby. Stop, Jim.
It should be good. I think that, like Luther said, sooner or later, Big Baby will fight somebody with a pulse.
Charles Martin has a pulse. He's not a bum.
He's fighting him, taking him.
Well, there's no question that Big Baby's on the way up and Martin's on the way down. But what I would do if I'm Big Baby's camp, don't do southpaw.
Right.
Because you can get caught with a man who can hit. Don't play. If you want to style before the fight and all that kind of stuff, terrific. Once you get in that ring, be for real, because this guy could hit. And he's shown that he can put people down. And you cannot afford to look at this stage in the game. Would you agree?
But what happened to the setup that Big Baby was supposed to?
It wasn't a setup. He couldn't get his visa.
Whoa, wow. That sounds like a setup.
He couldn't get his visa.
I mean, come on,
it's always
man.
something.
Listen,
yeah.
It's a hometown showcase fight, Jim.
Do you agree, though, that he cannot even make him worry? He's going to blow him out of the water.
I think Big Baby's ready.
He's the same. Prince Charles.
Prince Charles. Yeah, Big Baby knows he has to put on a show, and he's going to.
He can't get shook. He can't be wobbled.
I look for dreads to be flying all over the ring.
You remember when
right, nothing but dreads flying,
after Evander fought Foreman, he fought Bert Cooper in Atlanta. And Bert Cooper gave him a run.
Yeah, Bert Cooper.
You can't afford that.
Yeah, I don't see this being a run. Big Baby's going to put this guy through
A dominant
It's a
fight.
ca- it's a
Everybody
cash-
gave Evander a run.
His
He's a
style
blo-
did prove
he's a
that.
blo- he was a blown-up
from light
cruiserweight.
heavyweight to
Yeah, but his
cruiserweight
style-
to the
And he was always
Olympics to the
listen. He
heavyweight
had some of the most exciting
to
fights in boxing
bridgerweight.
Right,
history.
unfortunately.
But everybody
for
gave
him.
him a run. Everybody gave him a
Yeah,
run.
because
Because
of
his
his
style.
Because of his
He
style.
wasn't a boxer stick and move. He was in your
Everybody
face.
gave- I
Yeah.
just said everybody
Monnery,
gave,
Monnery.
I wasn't knocking him. I said everybody gave
Yeah,
him a
you
run.
always knock him,
Bert
Jim.
Cooper to,
Wait a minute.
to Robbie Sims.
He rips on Muhammad, Evander,
Clarissa
I love it.
Shields.
I just don't know
Floyd
who was
Mayweather.
More, I just don't know who
Floyd.
was more overrated, him or Ken Norton.
Oh,
I mean,
no. You can't put
I
Evander.
love them both.
I love Ken Norton too.
I love them
No.
Ken Norton's not on Evander's level. Stop, Jim.
Let's say no. Let's
He
say
definitely
Big
didn't have 12 losses like Evander.
Let's say that'll be a topic. Let's say Big Baby win. He's going to win.
He's going to win.
Okay, he wins. Next for Big Baby. You said next year, late this year, title shot?
No, not this year.
2025?
Next year. Next year, I think he's going to be there. Hopefully, like a Michael Hunter, somebody in the top 5.
He's fighting against.
Yeah, he's fighting somebody you never heard of.
Big Baby got a lot of Riddick Bowe in him.
No, stop.
Riddick
Riddick
In what
Bowe.
way?
Well, he already said he don't love boxing.
Well, who
that's
does?
I'm pretty sure
A lot of
Wilder
people
and
don't
them
say
guys
that.
do.
A lot of
Wilder,
guys
you
don't
said
say
there's
that.
something nice about Wilder?
Wilder wanted to kill somebody. Him and Lopez.
Listen, he didn't say him. He said the Bronx Bomber, not Wilder.
And
The Bronx Bomber.
Then everybody talking about, oh, why didn't Lopez take no Lucifer? They said Lopez didn't get no heat,
He
but
didn't.
Wilder got heat. But when a black man says murder, you gotta take it seriously.
Oh, stop. Jim.
So who would you said Michael Hunter. Big Baby wins this fight.
Zhang, Michael Hunter. I
See,
like that Zhang
I'm
fight.
thinking the winner of Zhang Joyce. You're jumping some rungs.
Oh,
I think he can do it.
Zhang would. Big Baby think he don't love boxing now. Zhang would knock him into another dimension.
I think Zhang, if you have the proper technique and some hit in you, I think you can get him.
Listen, Zhang's a perfect
He's
boxer
not- yeah.
for Big Baby because he's
Get-
going to sit
for
in your
Big Baby
face.
to get knocked out.
No, for Big Baby to punish
He
him.
can't come in there with no pacifier.
Come on, Jim. That's part of the play, Jim.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah.
all
You don't
that.
think it's too early?
No.
Okay.
No, he's ready for all of it. He's been in camp
I showed
with
you-
FA.
I showed you the movie Big Baby was in.
Ask Tyson Fury if he's ready. Tyson
For
Fury
some
saw what he
reason,
what
I
he can
don't
do.
think if he gets by Martin pretty good, I'm okay with him fighting as Zhang or a Joyce.
Yeah. Zhang, Joyce, Hunter. All of
Because
those
I've
guys.
seen him
Parker,
fight that guy Forrest and somebody
Destroyed
else
him.
when he was doing that, but he got stuck and,
and
he
got
was
a
okay.
chin. He has a chin.
He was okay. So I you know a little bit more.
But you don't
about
want to
him.
put that chin out there for the
No,
Wilders.
no. Don't forget about the lefty stuff.
Big
Don't
Baby
do
can
it.
beat Wilder.
Jim, stop.
Right now?
Jim, no, he couldn't.
In my opinion.
He's not-
Can
no,
I
he-
have an opinion?
You
Zhang would eat him
You
up,
can have your
but he can
opinion,
beat
and you've been
Wilder.
wrong most of the
The thing
time
about
on the show.
Wilder is he can lose the first round, the second, third, fifth, like he did against Ortiz.
Listen, but you guys
and
have
all
got
of
to
a sudden he hits
understand.
the home run.
You guys have to see. I've been watching his training. His style is completely different now.
Luther, but in
His
my
style is
opinion, whenever
completely
you're,
different.
everybody
He's
said that the
moving,
third
he's light
fight
on his
against
feet.
Fury, oh, he's gonna be different. And
That
as
was
soon
his
as
first-
all
no,
hell
stop.
broke loose,
No,
what
stop.
do? You go back, but to
No.
to
That was his
Wilder's-
first fight with Malik, with Malik Scott as his trainer.
Clint
This is
Hurdle
his third
says
fight.
whoever your
No,
baseball
no.
card says you are, that's who you are.
Yep.
It's as simple as that.
That's
but
not
Wilder,
true. No.
what got me about him was when he was half out of it, he's still throwing punches. Instinctively, that man kept coming and was throwing shots, haymakers against.
Claudio, you even
Wilder's
said you
on
saw
his credit.
you said you saw the foot movement. You saw
Yes,
him moving.
but-
He wasn't flat-footed. He was actually
Against
moving around
who?
bouncing.
Against who?
It doesn't
That last
matter.
guy.
That was his second fight. Give him credit. He's
Well,
changed his style.
One thing I can give Wilder credit. He keeps
Oh, here
himself
comes a
in
shot.
shape. He got the supplements. He's on vitamin A, B, C, E, and weed.
Oh, Jill, here you
Been
go.
helping him.
You always got to
Jim,
throw that out there.
I forgot who it was years ago,
At
and I
least
know
he's
he's
not
going
on-
to
at
say.
least he's not on PEDs or Canelo meat like your boy.
All right.
Or T, Valdez T.
Years ago, the Raiders were playing somebody when Kenny Stabler was quarterback. And no, Daryl LaMonica.
the Mad
And
Bomber.
they went into the game. It was on NFL, those old films. Said, well, we're going to play this team. We're going to run the ball. They had a nice running game with Marv Hubbard and them guys. And they didn't do good. Then what did they do? They said, hell, this ain't working. Let's go deep,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think that's what a Wilder or somebody may go into the game plan and say, I'm going to be a boxer puncher. I'm getting hit too much. To hell with it. I'm going back to the home run.
You're right.
You see what I'm saying? I think
You're
you go
right.
back to who you
I
are.
agree with you. Big Baby would beat Wilder.
I didn't say that.
Stop, Jim.
I didn't say that. I
Your
still
hate-
say it.
your
And I know what
hate
he's
of
going to
Wilder's
say now.
disgusting,
I
Jim.
said it that day,
No,
and
you
I'm still
don't.
going to say it. Fury and Wilder separated themselves. I was
you were
wrong
wrong.
then.
And I still say if they fight a fourth time, Wilder gets him.
Maybe. They're that close.
Well, you lost a lot of money the third time. So.
Okay.
You lost a lot of money this last week. That's why you don't have a watch anymore.
It
I
goes
bet
back
you
and
didn't
forth.
cuss on Route 65. You drove down there at 10 o'clock all the way.
Well, I'm really interested, and it's on ESPN, July
Yeah.
1st. I'm really excited to see that. Okay, Franchon Cruz Dezern versus Savannah Marshall for the undisputed super middle title. In the UK, July 1st, Luther.
Worried about this fight for a franchise. Look at that hairstyle, Jim. You like Cruz Dezern?
I love
Who
it.
are
Yeah.
you worried about?
Cruz Dezern. He's an older fighter, pushing almost 40. Savannah Marshall's been in the ring recently with Clarissa Shields. I have to give the advantage to Savannah Marshall. I think she's been more active. I'm cheering for
Equal
Franchon, but I just think
You're always right, right?
I don't know if she'll be able to get out of the punches as well. I saw her take some punishment her last fight. I'd like her to win. I just think Savannah's younger. She's been more active. I'm going for the upset. I think Savannah Marshall may get her. And then if it goes to the decision, Franchon's not going to
You're
get
done.
the decision in the UK against Savannah Marshall.
When you lose-
She's not losing back-to-back decisions in the UK.
That's how much she got dominated last time.
Right.
Would you agree there, Luth, after the loss to
Clarissa
Shields, that she improved? She went in against a really, really good opponent and had her moments.
Right.
Now against French, I think she's a better fighter after a loss than she would have been
Because she
after a
fought
blowout.
the best,
Right.
and now anything else she sees,
She
she's gonna
jacked
be
up
ready.
a level.
Yeah,
You agree with that?
I definitely agree with that, Claudio. That's
So,
why I give her the
Cruz
advantage.
is she's the favorite?
I believe Cruz is.
Even
She's the
there?
belt. She's the belt holder. She has the belt. Savannah's
we
stepping
have to
up.
do some talking,
Yeah.
fellas.
Yeah.
Right? We have, like we talked about before the show, smoking.
But it's very close. I think it's very close. Not
Savannah
700.
Marshall.
Okay, right?
Savannah Marshall's going to beat Cruz half to death. First of all, Savannah Marshall's 12 wins with 10 knockouts, so somebody in the women's division getting knocked out. Cruz is probably a better singer than she is a fighter. She was on American Idol. She'll probably sing the national
He
anthem.
knows before
One
the
thing
fight.
we know about Cruz, twice her wig came off in the ring, so that could be.
One time they had to throw it.
Yeah,
They threw it into the crowd. I remember that one.
We won't
Throw it
know.
at Jim this time.
Remember when Jack Tatum hit that one receiver in the Super Bowl,
Oh,
knocked his
yeah.
helmet
Helmet
off?
off.
So you don't know if somebody
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get
yeah.
their head
Oh,
knocked off,
for the
or is it
Vikings.
just a wig? Yeah, or is
Sammy
it just
White.
Sammy
Sammy
White.
White.
I said no.
Or is this just a wig? But it should be a good fight. I tell you what, for only 5'7", Cruz got the reach of a 6-footer. She got
Good
probably
arms,
the
yeah.
longest reach I've ever seen. But like I said, she's in with a legend.
I think Savannah's gonna. I think it's gonna be a unanimous decision if she doesn't knock her out. I think it's gonna be a dominant fight. I don't think it's gonna be close. I really don't. Because again, I've always believed when you lose, but you did pretty good. You had moments against a stud like Clarissa. Now you're gonna be fighting Dezern, and you say, "Oh man, this is a lot
I
easier."
got to ask you a question. So did they rush Savannah Marshall against Shields? They didn't marinate it. They've been going at it since the amateurs. They were two at the top of the game.
But she fought tough opponents from the
Did
beginning.
she? Savannah Marshall, she didn't fight that many tough opponents.
Different styles that had pretty good records.
Look at those. No, those
and,
records weren't
and
good.
females a little bit different.
Those records
Yeah,
weren't
there
good.
ain't 10
Well,
just not
Clarissa,
10 we know.
Right,
Clarissa
well-
Shields fought nothing but champions. That's why she's undisputed in three
like Claudio
divisions.
said, women boxing is here. and
No,
it's
I didn't
No,
say
don't
that.
put words.
Right.
I
Jim,
didn't say that.
don't put words in his mouth. Come on, Jim.
Jerron Boots
Woo!
Ennis, one of the guys
The
who I
future.
said what I say, undefeated.
Undefeated.
So wait a minute, I keep forgetting. Shakur, Boots, and Haney.
Haney, that's what you
Okay.
said.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
I can-
And okay. He's fighting, he's 30-27 to defend his IBF interim world welter title against Romain Villa, who's 26-1 with 24 knockouts.
And remember, he just had that upset victory over Rashidi Speedy Ellis.
Right.
And again, Speedy Ellis was kept on the shelf so long by Golden Boy Promotions, hadn't fought for almost 2 years and looked bad against Villa.
He wins this fight, Boots. To me, that really
When he wins this fight, in dramatic fashion.
Because Villa's no pushover.
No, and he's going to be right there for him. He's going to be taking major shots, and Villa has heart. So he's going to take a vicious beating in this fight. But I don't see him making it out. I see him getting stopped in 8 rounds. Just too much punishment. Boots is going to put on a show. I can't wait for it. A lot of people like Smoke and Jim weren't giving him his credit after his last fight because the guy just ran and ran and ran. Kieran was running like his name was Usain Bolt. Right. He was running. Right. He didn't engage. I think Boots is upset about it. He's going to take all his frustration out on Villa. Don't look for this to go past 8 rounds, folks. It's an easy victory for Boots. Punishment.
Word for word, I also agree. 8. I love Boots. I think you're
the future. Undisputed.
I think he's going to be a little showy too. He's going to show his skills against a tough fighter.
I don't think he's going to be showy. I think he's going to be mad because people talked about him. I think he's going to just go in there and
I see what you're saying, but I also think he's going to show all of his skills, not just power. I think he's going to move more. He's going to be a little showy to show, hey, I'm a big dog. I'm a definite player in this division. It's going to be what do they call like a showcase fight for him. Yeah. I think he's going to look great against. They might not give Villa a lot of credit because he's not well known, but he's a tough fighter.
He's tough.
He's not just he might not be a name, but he is no pushover. And I think Boots is going to dominate the fight.
And he keeps coming. That's what happened with Speedy Ellis. Even though I thought Speedy Ellis did edge that fight out, he dropped Speedy Ellis in the 12th round, so his power does last.
Different styles. Forgive me. Is that who's the one that you and Jim covered? Was it Boots or Fulton?
It was Boots. Okay. Both of them were from Philly.
Which one did you remember?
He doesn't remember. He don't remember any of them. We covered both of them because they used to come in for Golden Gloves, Jim.
Speaking of Philly, we're going to have a guest on. I didn't tell you guys. His name is Joey Eyes. He's a Hall of Fame trainer for Philadelphia. He's trained all those Philadelphia boys, so we're going to have him on the show pretty soon. Okay, Jim, your thoughts on this fight?
We got to get boozy. We got to get boozy in it. So that'll be fun.
It used to be a song back in the day called "Only a Schoolboy Crush." Listen, Boots got schooled by Karen.
He did not get schooled. He won every round.
He cut off the. Who cut off the ring?
Boots couldn't.
Yeah, because the guy ran.
Listen, that guy
There's a difference between moving and running, and he still caught him, Jim.
There's no such thing as rank.
He still got him, though.
I thought
he won every round. Did he lose any round?
Did he take criticism?
Did he lose? Did he win 12-0?
How can you look good against that guy, Luther?
If you know how to fight, it's easy to cut the ring off.
If a guy's running, they're running, Jim.
It's a ring. It's a square ring.
Yes, that guy was a heck of an athlete. He must have been a track star.
Yeah, and in shape.
Any excuse will do. Villa's all right. He's okay. He goes to the body good. He don't have to fast his ass because he beats Speedy. Listen, I said before, and I'll say it again. The Philadelphia fighters.
Oh, don't
say that to the trainer.
All they care about is getting recognized in Philadelphia. They don't care about championships. He's an interim. Is he an interim champ?
Because Spence and
Bud. That's all he cares
Spence and Bud are holding the belts right now. They have a big fight.
There's 1,000 fighters.
He's next in line. He's next in line.
Philadelphia with the potential to be world champions, and none of them got there.
Your prediction on the fight?
Boots is fighting an all right guy, so this guy won't dance. He should fight another dancer so he learn how to cut.
Dancing's one thing, Jim. Dancing's one thing.
That
running is another.
I had Karen in my top 5 as far as guys' movement of all time.
No.
Yeah,
oh, come on, Jim. Stop. Your top 5 is trash if he's in the top 5.
There's dancers like Muhammad Sugar. Then there's guys with angles like Haney and Loma. Where would you categorize?
I put Karen right up there with Cassius.
Anyway, Alicia Baumgarner, 14-1-7 against Christina Lindauer. I can't pronounce it. Lindauer 2, 14-2-6, undisputed super feather belts.
Baby.
July 15th on the Zone. Luther.
That's a great card. Unfortunately, the Hitchens Love aren't fighting because I think Hitchens had to pull out because of an injury. But Alicia Baumgartner, she could be the face of women's boxing pretty soon. Very exciting. always great at the weigh-ins. Always, she was at the fight this past weekend at the Kaunaki fight
in New York.
And so she, I look for her to overcome her loss to this girl. She lost earlier in her career. I look for her to stop her in the rematch. Alicia Baumgartner's on another level. What she did to Michaela Meyer, I can't wait to see part 2 of that. But she's on another level. I see a KO coming for Alicia.
Smoking?
Power in both hands.
I'm a little worried about this. There's no way that a true fighter should have been this close to a fight at another fight. You gotta get your head right, especially when she already got beat by this opponent. This girl's from
That's right. It's the second fight.
Yeah, this is the girl's from the Dominican Republic. She lost the decision to Katie Taylor, who's the best in the business. So it's going to be a good fight.
A lot of people had this Leonardo winning that one, too.
I'm pulling for Alicia. That's my baby. But again,
why is she your baby, Jim?
She sees something else. But again, I say that, you know, I'm from the old school, the Rocky Marcianos and those the Marvin Haglers, those guys. When they went into training camp, they ain't come out for nothing, man. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I love,
his father passed away.
But when his father died, he
Very
didn't
good,
break
Jim.
training to go to the funeral. So
he's a journalist.
he ain't the only one. The show must go on.
Okay, now you said something about her being the face of female boxing.
Possibly.
She should, again, what am I going to tell you, Luther? She should have a PR team that contacts, I know social media, but she has to get on the tube.
I agree with you.
She's got the look, she's got the personality, she has a story. Get her out there. It's important. She's got the weight of the boxing.
How many fighters have been
real
on here?
school.
Even Floyd. Floyd's still probably the face of boxing, what he does now.
No, I don't think he's a face of boxing now.
He's still, his fight still. What were we talking about? Him
But
and
did
Gotti.
he do interviews on ESPN?
That's what I'm saying. The only ones
Floyd
back in
couldn't
the
sell
day.
out cheerleaders. He was at cheerleaders, couldn't sell
Oh,
out.
on HBO, they had that thing where they followed him. Tube.
Listen, they do the access on Showtime, Claudio. That's where everything's moved. You're thinking of old school on the network.
Why
You
not
can do
get
them
those
both.
eyes?
You can do them
Why-
both, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Why is it relegated to just
Old
social media?
school, that
No, it's not.
dinosaur thinking.
What-
Come
the
on, man.
more
You
eyes.
guys,
Okay,
you guys
is
gotta
everybody
catch
who's
up to the
watching?
times.
Is everybody who's watching?
Dinosaurs.
What's that guy? I don't like that guy on channel on NBC. The Jimmy.
Well, everybody loves Max.
Oh, Jimmy
Kellerman.
Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, he's getting fired, or he doesn't have a show anymore. Not everybody likes Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, there's people that watch that show that
When
don't.
the last time a boxer been on there?
Right.
Why is that?
But people may
Why is
like
that?
her. People they'll be attracted to her. They'll like, you know what?
You
She's
think
fighting.
it's because she didn't reach out, or you think it's because they didn't?
I don't
How do
think
you
they
know?
did.
You on
Jim,
a
I don't know
PR
who
team?
the hell these people are that are on this show. I don't watch
True.
that show.
But what I'm saying, I believe her people. I believe some boxers have tried to get on the show.
I don't believe it. Now, Vinny was on that Conan O'Brien, was on Jay Leno, and he got, so I like this guy. He
Back in the day, a lot of boxers were on. Mike Tyson was on Arsenio, Muhammad Ali, all these
Right.
guys were
Sugar.
there. But that was how long ago?
but it worked.
How long ago?
It worked. Like Jim said, why does it just have to be social media? Why can't it be social media, TV, press,
It would be
podcasts,
great if that was
everything?
still the case, but it's not the
It
case
should be.
anymore,
Call
unfortunately.
us.
You know,
Okay.
First Take is where people are going now. That's where Spence and Crawford were just at a couple times.
Stephen A. Smith never helped out a black person there. In this
Oh, come on,
Skip
Jim.
Bayless.
Okay, Jim.
But those are-
what was Shannon Sharp say about what you just said?
But why wouldn't Alicia Baumgartner be on there?
Listen, no boxers have been on there. You
Except
mean
for
First Take?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, she got to get her name up there. I would like her to be up there. But has Clarissa Shields even been up there? Savannah Marshall?
No.
They got to get up there.
Don't start with him. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, there's a lot more fights that we're going to talk about. And, of course, we have a special mailbag request from the fans, so come on back to the Boxing Authorities. Welcome back to the Boxing Authorities. More fights in July. WBC lightweight eliminator Frank Martin, somebody that you've always talked about, 17-0 with 12 knockouts against Artem Harutyunyan. I screwed that up, but that's okay. Artem H, let's call him. July 15th in
I
Vegas.
look like he has so much gray in his beard. He look old as Jim in that picture, man. But listen, man, Frank Martin, the Ghost, he's an Errol Spence fighter. He signed to his promotional company. I was hoping that this fight would be on the Spence Bud Crawford undercard, but he's headlining. Hopefully it's a setting up a fight for him and Tank, maybe down the line. But listen, this guy has everything you want. Great jab. He has fluid movement. It's hard to hit him. He's an exciting fighter.
He's another guy you like way back.
Way back, just because I like his style. Derek James is his trainer as well. He fights a lot like Errol Spence, everything you want. But he has more head movement. He's very hard to hit, power in both hands.
He can hit.
Listen, man, this guy is the future. I think him and Tank is Class A versus Class A. I'm hoping that's a couple fights down the line. But look for him to put on a show, man. Frank Martin is special, power in both hands, great jab. And they call him the Ghost for a reason. You can't hit him. In a phone booth, you couldn't hit him.
Smoking?
Luther's sitting on.
You don't like Frank Martin, do you? Because he's with Errol Spence. He don't like Frank.
George Kambosos, 22-10, is making sort of a comeback against Maxie Hughes, 26-5, 2-5 knockouts. I like Kambosos coming back and fighting. To me, that shows he's a serious fighter. Years ago, Chris Arreola lost to, I want to say, was it Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, Wilder destroyed him.
Usually guys, when they're climbing, and they get to that top level and they lose, they disappear. Arreola kept coming back. He maybe didn't reach that level again, but to me, that man's a fighter. Yeah. Kambosos lost 2 big-time fights, but he said,
in his home country.
In his home country. Against a great fighter, but he wants to fight. He's a fighter, Luther.
Yeah. Kambosos has the heart of a champion. He doesn't have the skills of a champion, unfortunately. He just ran into a guy, who's on another level. But this is a great fight for George Kambosos. He can look good against him. Kambosos doesn't have a lot of great power, but he shows heart. He did drop Teofimo Lopez a couple times. I look for him to win a unanimous decision, but I need Kambosos to take that Shakur fight or Lomo fight.
Well, he's got another big fight in him.
Let's hope.
Financially.
Financially, he's set. Those 2 fights with Haney, he's set already. Right now, he's showing the heart of a champion.
Right. Yeah, he wants
victory.
it. He wants it.
Easy victory for him.
Smoking?
Well, both of these fighters should be 26-5, 2 and 5 knockouts. I mean, both of them are very average. Kambosos is just one step above a club level fighter.
He's a former unified champion, Jim. Stop.
He's not very good.
Unified champ.
You put anybody.
He's tough.
That's all.
Does he have heart? Does he have heart, Jim?
There's so many fighters that this would be just easy work for him, like it was for Haney. You guys give Haney a lot of credit for beating an inferior fighter.
In his own country.
This is what I like. I like evenly matched fights. I'm a boxing fan.
This is
a
even?
Boxing historian.
This is even, Jim.
And this is an evenly matched.
So pick Maxie. Who you picking, Jim?
I got Kambosos.
Oh, where is it not that even then? You said that too easy. What is Maxie? Why is it an even fight, though, Jim?
Well, they're both either club level fighters or a little bit above
club level.
Yeah, club fighters.
One got 5 losses and 2 draws with 5 KOs.
And the other one could.
Kambosos only lost to one person.
5 fights at his.
He lost to 5 different people. Kambosos lost to one person.
Before the Haney fight, the 5 previous fights Kambosos won would all split decision.
Did he? Okay, that means he's fighting.
Be right in now.
No, he's fighting good competition.
No, he wasn't fighting.
He's fighting.
I think he's one of those guys that he's not going to blow anybody out of the water. You're going to get your licks in against him, and it's going to be a split decision. That's a good point, Jim. Yeah. He's not going to blow anybody out of the water. He's not going to knock him out. This fight, you said a decision.
Lopez.
You said this. Well, Lopez with that dive.
He dropped him.
Yeah, but
and did you see Teofimo's face after that? Yeah. It looked like he was punishing him.
Split decision victory.
Now, before we get to Errol Spence, Bud, Stevie Fulton against Neo you pronounce it better than I do. Inoue. Yeah. This is, you know what? Jim always says what he's worried. I'm worried about this fight for Fulton.
Well, yeah, of course. You're going to Japan. They threw some flowers at Floyd last time Floyd fought in Japan. Hopefully he gets a better decision.
24 wins, 21 knockouts for Inoue.
Yeah, but he's moving up a level. And I think Fulton's going to show there's levels to it. He's moving up. He's never fought a guy like Fulton who can duck, who can dodge, who's hard to hit, who has great combinations. Me and Jim watched him as an amateur in the Golden Gloves, and Fulton was a bad boy then. Couldn't touch him, can't touch him now. It'll be a great fight, but I see Fulton squeezing out a decision against Inoue.
He's not a big knockout puncher.
He's not a big knockout, but it's hard to hit him, and he throws combinations.
But I think what I say about Devin Haney, he went to Australia, and I was impressed with his mental maturity. I'm not saying that Steve doesn't have that, but I think Fulton may go in there, and instead of boxing in a way, he may try to slug with him eventually.
Oh.
He may stand there a little bit more. He should move. He should box and get out of the way. For some reason, I'm thinking he's going to go in there and maybe stay a little bit too easy to hit, and Inoue may catch him.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot more beautiful.
So you're going anyway.
No, I'm still saying undefeated.
Come on, you sound a lot like
let me say this. Let me say this. If he fights the proper fight, he'll win, but in a decision. But if he goes in there and stands in that pocket,
Pick a side, Claudia. You sound a lot like Smoky Jim. He's rubbing off on you with the.
I'm going with Fulton. I'm going with
Now
Fulton.
you're back to Fulton.
I'm
okay.
going Fulton.
Now you didn't jump back to Fulton. Okay. By the time
going
Jim
Fulton.
says you'll be back on anyway, where you at, Jim?
I can't go against undefeated.
Well, there's a lot more beautiful women in Japan than Australia, so a boy from Philadelphia ain't gonna be focused. Unless I'm going with Inoue. Anyway, I'm going with Inoue.
Now you done ripped out
That's
Australia.
good.
You going anyway in a
I'm
knockout
going
or a decision?
with Fulton. I'm still going with Fulton.
Could be.
What are you going with? A knockout or decision?
Could be.
Could be what? Could be either.
Yeah.
What the hell? All right, now the fight everybody's talking about, but are they talking about, which I'm going to get to Jim. Errol Spence, 28 wins, no losses, 22 knockouts against Bud. Crawford, 39-0, 30 knockouts. This is for the undisputed welter in July 29th in Vegas. Thank you, NHL and Gary Bettman. Now, let me ask you this, Luther. Does this, now you're too young to remember, and this is kind of lead into our next thing, and I didn't forget about J-Rock either. But does this, two undefeated fighters, they said that about Ali Frazier, two undefeated fighters, but that had aura around it, Jim. Frank Sinatra was taking pictures.
Yes.
That was the talk, and that was when there was only, as you
That
say,
was
3
Ali.
channels.
That was Ali. He was
Okay.
the biggest thing in
But
sports.
this is the
he might have
biggest
been the
fight.
most popular person in the world.
Right, but
Come
now
on.
these guys are
But-
saying this is the biggest fight.
It's the biggest fight in boxing right now. Yes.
Is this the biggest fight for you? Like, would you rather see this fight or
Yes.
a Wilder Fury fight?
This
I'd rather
fight,
see
this
Wilder
for
Fury.
me is the biggest fight in boxing. I've been calling it for years.
Out of all
It's
the
finally
matchups,
happened.
this is the biggest
Yes,
one for you.
Yes, because you have a
Two
former
undefeated,
undisputed
all right.
champ at 140 trying to make history, become 2 times in 2 different divisions. You have Errol Spence fighting the guy who's pound for pound #1, the 2 best fighters in the world fighting. Yes, this is the best fight in boxing. Guys need to stop it. Maybe they don't have the great personality. They don't have the great personality like Ali or Sugar Ray or Tyson, but that's not them. These guys know how to fight. They put on great shows, but they're not Floyd. They're
Are
not
you
Floyd.
counting the days down till the fight
Yes,
happens?
yes, I've been counting, and I'm upset. I would have tried to go to this fight, but I'm gonna be, at a family reunion. But this is the fight I've been waiting for years.
You got family reunion next week. You got family reunion.
I got a lot of family. I got a big family.
All of them
Jim.
are called me there.
But yes, this is huge. Come on, guys. I mean,
Why am I not feeling like, and again, not to
you
jump
don't have
into
an
it,
attachment to these 2 guys. Like the
is this a
Ali.
crossover fight?
I believe so.
So a non-fan is going to say, oh, I got to see that fight.
They won't even
Yeah,
know it's
yeah,
on.
no.
A non-fan who Mike Tyson was, they knew Sugar Ray Leonard was.
And
Those
when
are
they were fighting.
listen. You're going through. That was a different era back in the '80s. Boxing
Now
was so
they should know
huge.
both
It's
these
like
guys.
Clarissa Shields 2 weeks ago. Nobody even knew that fight was on. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah.
Listen, but you guys got to understand,
hype.
boxing as a sport is not as big as it was back
Luther,
in
every
the
time we
80s.
see a card-
Tank of Ryan Garcia was through. the
Every
roof.
card we see on TV, packed. Pay-per-view
Yeah,
numbers, good.
it'll be packed. It's already been
ESPN
sold out.
packed,
It's
980,000.
packed. It's already
So
going to
there's
be packed.
there's
Dude,
noise. It's popular sport.
Well, a lot of sporting events are packed.
Real quick before I forget, so forgive me, Jim. Nigel Collins, who was on our show,
That's
think
the one who didn't know,
Torres.
Smoker Jim's boy, Richard Torres. Right.
He wrote I think he's writing another book, but I think the title is "Stars Save Boxing, Not Great Fights." Mm-hmm. That's a great line.
Yeah, I like
Stars save boxing, not great
steal
fights.
that.
Well, that's true. I agree. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
And I understand what you're saying
talking
about
about Ali
detachment.
and
I
Sugar
understand
Ray.
what you're
They
saying.
were stars. They were the most popular people on the planet.
I'm have to steal that like I stole Luther's Hall of Fame.
Don't get him wound up
But
about
hey,
that.
hey, listen.
And you
there's
stole
no-
Golden Gloves
there's
and
no-
the amateur events. Yeah, you stole a
there's
lot from
no-
me.
There's no buzz.
As long as you don't steal that watch.
There's no buzz around this fight. The USFL championship is getting more hype than
On
this.
Facebook, it is.
No, no,
But
stop.
again, let me just
Okay.
say this. Let me
Whatever.
just say this.
You all
Let me
just wanna
just say this. I said before, and I'm saying again, like Claudio say, for me, the rematch is going to be the
There's
real deal.
not
I
gonna
think
be a
this is going to be a
rematch.
great.
There's
not
not
going
gonna
to
be
be
a
a
rematch.
rematch.
That's an excellent point.
I don't believe there's going to be a rematch. I think the beating that
But if
Spencer's
there
going
is-
to put on Bud is going to be so bad. Bud already came out and said he doesn't want a rematch.
If
He
there
already
is-
knows what's going to happen.
Isn't the Jim? I think he's 1,000% right. It's not the first fight; it's that second fight.
There's
that
not
could
going to be a
buzzed.
second
And
one.
I
You heard
can't-
it here first.
I can't think of one.
I'm going with Bud Crawford.
And that's another L. This is why your record's so bad, Jim. All these L's you didn't put on.
I'm going to go with Spence in this fight. I'm going to go with
Jim,
Spence.
you even going to be 500 by the end of the year? You're under 500 at this point. Just stop. We shouldn't even take his picks anymore because he's so bad. Now, I got Spence. Oh, you gonna
No, you go ahead.
I did want to talk about J-Rock
Right, we're gonna
and
get to that.
Carlos
Yes, sir.
Adame. That's that, and I think we had some clips of that one too.
Okay.
I was very disappointed that the referee stopped this fight. They were going back and forth. J-Rock, this could be his last fight. Look, he's still in there. Now, he took some hits. He's hurt. He looks like he's feeling it. But watch the refs' action. I'm so disappointed on the refs. They're going back and forth. Yes, he may be a little hurt. But these are hitting gloves. His hands are still up. Watch.
And he's
when is he
moving.
stopping?
Oh, see, he
He
threw a
stopped.
jab.
And look, he grabbed the wrong guy first. He grabbed the wrong, then finally grabbed J-Rock. What is going on with these referees? He grabbed Carlos first, and I'm supposed to stop J-Rock, then turned around and grabbed him.
Do you
I
think
don't
that because
agree
of
with
his
it.
last couple fights, just like Kalnaki, this guy
But
lost
he wasn't
a few in a
getting-
row?
he wasn't
I
taking
know.
that type of
But do you
beating.
think he
He
was a
had no
pre-thing? What do you
business.
call that? Before-
Predetermined.
Predetermined.
I don't know, but I like
He said
what
to
Earl
himself,
Spence-
wait a minute, if this guy gets in trouble, I'm stopping it. You think?
No, I just think, and Breadman, who trains J-Rock, said, I'm disappointed you all keep stopping these fights for the ASAD as soon as he has a nice run. And that's exactly what happened. I hate what the referee did. It was a back-and-forth fight. I had Carlos
Off of the
Adame
jab,
up.
he stopped him.
Right. And and then he grabbed the wrong guy. Usually, you grab the guy who's getting beat.
Yeah, right.
He grabbed the guy who was throwing the punches. So he
Now,
didn't even know. And then he got
Kalnaki against
confused.
Kuzumano was a little bit.
Right, and I
I'm good
wanted the
with that.
referee to jump in sooner,
Right.
and he's sitting there looking.
Your
Very
thoughts?
disappointed. J-Rock, he went out on the shield. Unfortunately, the referee didn't give him a chance to really, show his heart because he was in that fight. He was only down, I think it was the 6th or 7th round.
And sometimes
had it
that's a
close.
strategy.
Right.
To just let the guy maybe punch himself out, right?
And he
Look what
was-
Muhammad
yeah.
did.
But you saw him. He had his hands up. Those weren't all clean punches like Kalnaki.
Right.
He was getting hit clean,
got shot,
overhand rights.
His hands were
Very
down.
disappointed in the referee. I'd like not to see him referee again if he's going to do stuff like that.
Smoking?
Well, I'm glad this fight was featured on the cell phone network, but
It was on Showtime.
Hey, I was just going by the footage, but I think Luther said it all.
All right.
I've never heard Jim say I said it all so much in my life, but I appreciate it.
When we come back, our mailbag requests. So come on back to the boxing authorities. Welcome back to the Boxing Authorities, a relatively new segment we have, not mailbag, but mailbag request. Stephen from Boston, Spence Crawford coming up, biggest fight of the year, no doubt. What was the biggest fight, most hyped fight, which is a good separation, for a fight that you guys remember? Luther.
Oh, man, I got to go.
Did a couple
I was
if
in
you
college. Well, Tyson Holyfield, for one, for me. I was hype about that. It was supposed to happen, and then Tyson loses to Buster Douglas in a very bad upset because he was
You
partying.
brought Buster up,
because
crowbar.
he was partying and Buster,
Oh,
Buster
I don't
fought
wanna
the
hear
fight
that.
of his
I don't
life.
wanna hear that.
And then he went to jail. And then Evander took the belts back from Buster. I have to say that one. I wanted that fight year after year. I'm going with Tyson Holyfield. Also, I was hyped for Tyson Lewis.
Yeah.
That fight didn't turn out to be legendary at all.
But I think he's asking the hype and all that.
But
Everybody's
a lot of
like nobody's talking about Spence Crawford and those two, but the ones that just the media that was on entertainment tonight that was talked about in the streets or the barbershop, as you said.
At Hagler Hearns, that was a lot of hype as well.
Prior
I was
to
hyped
the
about
fight?
that one.
I don't
thought
remember
so.
that
I
one
thought it was
too
pretty.
much.
I
Okay.
thought that was pretty good. But definitely Tyson Holyfield. Nothing tops that for me. Okay. That was my heyday. I won a lot of money on that fight.
He's going to say Dempsey Tunney.
Right.
But go ahead.
Well, when Lou was in college, he must have been sniffing a lot of glue if those were his most hype fight. But hey, there's
Tyson
only
Holyfield
was big.
Tyson Holyfield?
There's only one, and that was Frazier Ali won. 2 undefeated Olympic champions. Listen, Ali he moved to Philadelphia to pursue Joe Frazier in 1969. He went to Joe Frazier's gym. 2,000 people followed him. He challenged him to fight in the Fairmont Park, and 10,000 people showed up, but Joe Frazier didn't show up. Joe thought it was a joke. He was going to fight for free there. Listen, not only with a lot of people mistaken. Listen, when they fought, like you said, every celebrity was there. It was sold out. But that wasn't the thing. Every pay-per-view in the United States was sold out, and it was going for $30 a ticket in 1971. That's like
Closed circuit.
Right, thank you.
That's like $500 a ticket today.
Oh, it was $30.
No,
it was $30 today. That's like $500.
No.
Now here's the thing. Guess how many
500.
people
What?
around the world watched that fight live?
How many?
Guess.
10.
10 million.
20.
As you always.
300 million watched that fight live.
Are those
the
real
world.
facts or those Smokopedia
So
facts?
we can stop.
Are those
We can
Smokopedia
stop
facts?
with the glue sniffing.
I think
prediction.
Jim.
300 million around the world watched it live.
Tyson Holyfield.
the first one, who's the guy, Jack Johnson? Was it Willard? No. Jeffries.
Yeah,
Jeffries.
yeah.
Okay, so that one obviously.
That might be.
So
Way back.
but we weren't around for that
Y'all
one.
weren't around. Can we
Okay.
see something we were around
Now,
for?
the other one, the one that everybody measures up against is that one. Then you can talk about Zale and Graziano, those. But that one, the Ali Frazier one, was through the roof when Sinatra was hired by Life magazine to take pictures. Now, the ones in my
press row.
when that was in my lifetime, but I'm talking about when I was watching boxing more. The Cooney Holmes was huge.
that was huge.
Tyson McNeely was huge because Tyson was
Oh,
coming out of
come
jail.
on, stop it.
Was he not? Was he not? Was it
No,
not a lot of
no,
hype?
you don't get that one, Claudia.
Why?
McNeely.
It wasn't him, but people
Stop.
wanted to
No.
see Tyson.
No, it got to be two. It got to.
Lennox Lewis and the Polish guy.
Oh, God, that was me and my
Yeah,
dad.
yeah,
That
That
me
was
and my
That
dad.
was the result. That was the
me and my
Rosado
dad.
family.
Hey, that was too. We love Lennox.
A whole year.
But I'm going to put him.
Not McNeely. Come on.
I didn't say
Yeah,
I didn't
that
say that it was a
that was
classic.
big.
I
That
said,
was big.
wait.
No.
Stephen asked biggest. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Biggest fight of the year.
Okay, all
Nobody-
right, I'll take it back. All right. But people were excited about it.
People were
Lennox and
excited about Tyson.
Okay, Tyson
Destroying
Lennox.
him in
Tyson
30
Evander.
seconds.
But he tried.
Yeah,
McNeely tried. He
and
said, "You guys are laughing."
And McNeely could sell
Put
a
up,
fight.
put up
He did sell a
Tyson.
fight.
Put up Tyson Spinks then for all that. Come
That
on.
was
man.
big
No.
time before not the fight
Yeah,
itself, but the
that was hell.
That wasn't
undefeated
Tyson
guys.
Holyfield. That wasn't Tyson
I don't think he was
Holyfield.
No,
No, he was
both
undefeated.
They
Yeah,
both were undefeated. That man was scared.
But would y'all agree? If 300 million people watched it live around the world, you got
That's
to
the
give
biggest.
it up. You
That's the
gotta give it
biggest.
According to you. We know about your
I
stats.
kinda went off
300 million, huh?
I kind of went off
Not
his question.
301. Just right on the nose. Not
299.
299 million. Okay.
I'm thinking hype. Okay, for a fight itself, no, it wasn't worth a damn. But everybody wanted to see this Tyson have it. He's going to kill this guy. So it was hype. It was his first. He was who he was.
Yeah.
But the Ali. The Ali Frazier,
yeah.
that first one, that's the one. But
How about Ali Foreman? Was there a lot of hype? Or would you all put that
Well,
in there?
no, it was, but nobody thought Ali had a chance.
no, Howard Cosell thought that he was going to
Yeah,
really
they thought
kill
he
him.
was going to get murdered.
Yeah.
How many times they think Ali was going to get murdered? Against Liston,
but
against
Ali-
Foreman? Come
Ali-
on, man.
Frazier won, it was even. There was people on both sides.
But what were your thoughts as a 10-year-old when Jack Johnson fought Jeffries?
That might have been bigger.
Jill was 21 back then. Jill was 30 years old.
Thank you, Stephen, for
Great
the question.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. As always, we hope you
Nick
enjoyed
Neely.
this great show. You're
The
right.
legendary
You're right.
Nick
But
Neely.
it was hype. It was a big
Biggest
hype
fight of the
fight.
year. Come on.
Well, I bet you the numbers prove it, right?
Yeah,
I bet you the numbers prove
What,
it.
Tyson's paycheck?
Well, I'm talking about pay-per-view. That was no, that was
gosh.
regular HBO, I think.
It was regular.
Remember when Minnie was going like this, and Tyson's eyes were like, "Oh man!" But it was exciting.
Did he ever fight again? He just retired off of that
fought,
paycheck. huh?
He should have. But again, is the Spence Crawford getting that
Oh
kind
man,
of fight?
see, listen, it's not on that level because Tyson was one of a kind.
If it was a
Ali,
real fight,
one
you
of a
wouldn't be going to
kind.
Virginia Beach. You'd stay home and watch the damn
I'ma
fight.
still watch the fight, and I'll be in Philly.
I thought you were going to Virginia Beach.
But this weekend,
This is for another family reunion.
family reunion.
How many
Family's big.
I have
have
no
3 I have
family
to go
reunions
to.
except not even if somebody dies. I didn't go to a few family
Oh,
relatives.
gosh.
They ain't coming to mine either. All right. What the hell? Oh yeah, as we always say, we hope you enjoy our show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Boxing Authorities.